Let's go over the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or better known as MCAS, shall we? First off, I'll explain what MCAS is in detail, then talk about the controversy and issues that came about with MCAS, and what Boeing did to revise this. The Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS, on the Boeing 737 MAX is a flight control software introduced to automatically adjust the aircraft stabilizer trim, particularly during high angle of attack situations induced by the larger and more fuel-efficient high bypass turbofan engines, which were placed in a new location on the wing. Now, this was done in order to prevent a stall by lowering the nose of the aircraft because of the new natural tendency to pitch up. Issues with the MCAS system, however, became evident following two fatal crashes involving the 737 MAX in 2018 and 2019. Investigations revealed that faulty sensor readings could trigger the MCAS system erroneously, repeatedly pushing the aircraft's nose down, leading to a loss of control. The NTSB report states, on October 29, 2018, Lion Air Flight 610, a Boeing 737 MAX 8 with the registration Papa Kilo Lima Quebec Papa, crashed into the Java Sea shortly after takeoff from Soekarno-Hatta International Airport in Jakarta, Indonesia. The flight crew had communicated with air traffic control and indicated that they were having flight control issues and altitude issues before the airplane disappeared from radar. This was a scheduled domestic flight from Jakarta to Penang City in Indonesia. All 189 passengers and crew on board died, and the airplane was destroyed. And on the same safety report from the NTSB, they state, on March 10, 2019, Ethiopian Flight 302, a Boeing 737 MAX 8 with the Ethiopian registration Echo Tango Alpha Victor Juliet, crashed near Ehere, Ethiopia, shortly after takeoff from Addis Ababa Bole International Airport in Ethiopia. The flight was scheduled international. It was a scheduled international passenger flight from Addis Ababa to Nairobi in Kenya. All 157 passengers and crew on board died, and the plane was destroyed. So, let's go over the revisions to MCAS that Boeing have made after these incidents, investigations, and their resulting safety suggestions by the NTSB. In a software update to all aircraft, the flight control system will now compare inputs from both angle of attack sensors, which it didn't do before, as it would only need one sensor to activate. If the sensors disagree by 5.5 degrees or more with the flaps retracted, MCAS will no longer activate. An indicator will now also go on the flight deck display and alert the pilots if they do disagree. If MCAS is activated in non-normal conditions, it will only provide one input for each elevated angle of attack event. There are no known or envisioned failure conditions where MCAS will provide multiple inputs anymore, as it used to go basically infinitely. MCAS can now also never command more stabilizer input than can be counteracted by the flight crew pulling back on the column. The pilots will now be able to continue, always, have the ability to override MCAS system manually and to control the plane. As for training, pilots will now receive additional specific training, as before these accidents they had minimal to no conversion training on all to the 737 MAX type, as Boeing stated publicly that the MAX and previous NG 737 models or new generation models were so similar there didn't need to be any new type rating differences. This did mean that pilots at the time had little to no knowledge on the MCAS system, nor how to deactivate it. It must be noted that there weren't any flight manuals that displayed this MCAS system, therefore it could not be located on the plane itself in an emergency. As for regulatory, to earn a 737 type rating certificate, pilots will now complete a 21 or more days worth of instructor-led academics and simulator training. To be certified on the 737 MAX, pilots must either complete a 737 MAX specific type rating course, or if a pilot is already certified to fly the 737 NG, they must now complete a new NG to MAX differences training. All research sources are from Boeing official public statements and public reports, and information about the two incidents were obtained by going over NTSB safety reports on combined and individual cases. All sources are found here. Thank you for your attention.